to this episode of This is BIPSI. My name is Winona Tomley, and I'm excited to be your host for today's show. So what can BIPSI offer veterans and military spouses? Our military do so much in the field, but when they get ready to return to the job market, beginning a new career can offer big opportunities. And without the necessary training, it can be intimidating. And this is where BIPSI can help. I'd like to welcome our first guest, Ms. Susan Stakes, our Veteran Education Services, right?
Yes.
Hi, nice to have you on the show today.
Thank you.
With
Thank
us.
you.
It's
Glad
exciting.
to be here. Thank you very much.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm the VA certifying official here on campus. I certify all the GI Bill benefits for our veterans and their families who are using the veteran benefits. And I follow them from the process of applying to the college all the way through certifying their classes and monitoring them throughout the semester to follow how well they're doing. And I report directly to the Department of Veteran Affairs as far as their schooling is concerned.
Wow, that's a big job.
I enjoy it.
So, so how did you come into being, into the veterans?
Well, any college campus that
Education.
receives GI Bill benefits has to have a VA certifying official on the campus. They are approved through the VA because it involves money from the federal government to pay for the classes for the student. So I actually started here in a different program, but when the position was offered to me, I jumped on it. I'm a 28-year military spouse. My husband served 28 years active duty, so wow. I have a genuine relationship with these folks. I know their lifestyle and their daily struggles, and so I jumped on the opportunity. I look at it as giving back. I enjoy it.
That's beautiful. I love that. I love that. So what is the purpose of your department? Just to oversee them and
yes, I kind of serve a bunch of different roles. Obviously the money is a big important piece for them to come back to school.
Oh, yes.
A lot of them are transitioning into the civilian life. Some are still active duty going to school to better themselves for their career advancement. So I kind of try and put them at ease. It's a hard transition from military life to civilian life, so they're apprehensive, some of them, when they first come in the door. A lot of them don't know a lot about their benefits, so I guide them to people downtown that they can speak with about their benefits, because some of them are eligible for more than one, and they need to know how to use it to their best abilities to complete what their, the degree program and get them back into the marketplace. Absolutely.
Wow. So can you walk us through some of the benefits, just Sure.
There's several chapters of the GI Bill. The Montgomery GI Bill they have for active duty members, reservists, and National Guard members. The post 9/11 is the popular GI Bill, and we have the Chapter 35, which is the Dependent Education Assistance Program for military dependents of disabled vets. The Chapter 31 is the Vocational Rehabilitation Program for disabled vets who are being rehabilitated, and there's several benefits that they can take advantage of. There's also benefits through the state of Louisiana Department of Veteran Affairs. A lot of people don't realize that they can check with their home of record and their state benefits as well in some states around the country. One of them is the Title 29 exemption that exempts tuition and fees for dependents of disabled vets at a 90 or 100% rating.
Oh, wow.
And there's the National Guard waiver. Our National Guardsmen get their tuition waived through the state to come to school. So there's state benefits as well to their advantage to come to school.
That is a lot that is offered.
It is a lot.
And you were telling me that there's a possibility of more coming on
later.
Well,
they're always adding more programs. We had something called the VRAP program a while back that the government initiated to get veterans that had been unemployed between the ages of 35 and 60. I had a lot of students, about 70 of them utilized that program, and then they discontinued it. So they kind of try and bring things on board, and then it gets, it's a back and forth. We also have scholarships here at BIPSI.
Yes.
We have the Atkins Family Scholarship for active duty members and their active duty spouses, and it is a type of scholarship through the BIPSI Foundation that the Atkins family was very gracious to give us, and that helps offset their expenses. So even if they have federal aid or they have tuition assistance, it helps offset the cost of maybe daycare, books, because it's refundable.
Yes. Oh, wow.
We also have the Ken Black Scholarship, Ken Black was a retired chief who passed, and his wife set up a scholarship in his name here, and that is for veterans as well. So, we have a lot to offer them financially, and hopefully, we do accept tuition assistance also for the active duty military, and so we try and do the best we can to get them here and help them be successful and not have to worry about the monetary piece of it, so they can do their best to get through their program.
That's an incredible amount. I'm very pleased with that. So what does it take to qualify? I mean, does each one of them have specific qualifications?
Yes, ma'am. Each individual benefit has their own qualifications. The Montgomery GI Bill, which is the Chapter 30, active duty members typically pay $1,200 into that program. When they become active duty, they can either opt out or stay with it, and that gives them, if they serve a 48-month stretch of active duty time, they are eligible to use that Montgomery GI Bill. It's good for 10 years after they leave the military, so even if they separate, that benefit is still there. Typically, when a military person serves 48 months of active duty time, they get 48 months of education entitlement, 36 months of the Montgomery GI Bill, and then 12 months of the post 9/11. But they can convert as well. They can forego the Montgomery and go straight to the post 9/11 if they choose to, and use that for 36 months. So it depends on the person. Everybody has a different circumstance. I typically send them downtown to the Department of Veteran Affairs to help them establish what benefit they have, because everyone does have a special circumstance, and because there's several programs out there. I want to make sure that they're aware and they use them to their fullest potential.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is set aside for them, and
that's right.
We definitely want to make sure that they're using that and getting that education. That's a big benefit of being in the military.
It is.
I'm very thankful for our military, and it pleases me so much that we have these opportunities for them, and I would love to see more military take advantage of those. Veterans as well as military spouses. Yes. So what branches are represented here on campus?
We actually have representation of all branches here on this campus. Even though some of them are not in the local area, they retire, some of them move back home. They have spouses maybe who are from here in different instances. So you'll see Army, Air Force, Coast Guard, Marines, and you've got your National Guardsmen. You have a huge reserve unit here as well. So we get all these different all the different branches of service, I would say, are represented here on the campus.
So is there a lot more military spouses, or a lot more veterans or active duty who are here?
Well, we have a variety of all of them. We don't have an entity on Barksdale Air Force Base in the education office as far as a college entity there. So a lot of them, it's typically word of mouth that they know that we're here outside the industrial gate. We have a lot to offer them, obviously. But the full count of how many are actually here on the campus, I know for the ones that I certify every semester, on average I certify about 500 veterans and their families a semester.
Wow.
But there's far more than that. Not all of them use military benefits, so they're not required to come through my office. So I try and do the best I can to reach out to them as well, and the active duty guys. Tuition assistance is handled through the business office, so a lot of times if I communicate with them, it's because they take my name off the website, or I meet them at job fairs or tech fairs. I try to make it a point to go downtown quite a bit and meet and greet everybody as best I can and promote our programs. So we have far more than that I certify every semester, but we have a good group.
So how do we measure success? That's kind of a thing for me. I know with BIPSI, we often have the transfer programs where they actually go into a 4-year university and continue that education even further. How many do we usually graduate?
On average, I would say we graduate about 50 a semester. They do very well here in our programs, and I think it's just because of the fact that they're structured. They know they have to get to class on time. They have to do their coursework. Our teachers are very good at working with them. If they have VA appointments and things of that nature, we try to make it a point to encourage them to communicate with their instructors, because VA appointments downtown are hard to come by. So we make sure that if they have those types of things going on, that they talk with their instructors. But on average, we graduate about 50 a semester. Our popular programs, I would say, the allied health programs are very popular. Last semester I had about 15 students in clinical rotations. They do very well in the nursing programs and the PT program and the allied health programs. Cyber is a big deal with their clearances from the military and having those cyber certifications. They do very well. CSRA next door is great advocate hiring those vets over there, and so it's a big deal. They enjoy our programs. They get a lot out of our programs, and it puts them into the marketplace and makes them marketable to get jobs in the local area, and they want to stay here because you have the VA hospital and things here that they want in the base in the local area, so they do what they can to stay here in the local area.
That is wonderful. I did not know that it was so vast, and I mean, until I came to BITC this year, I didn't know that there was so many things that was offered, and I have been blown away by BITC. BITC is a wonderful place and great opportunities here.
Well, we do our best to serve our military. We realize that we have Barksdale Air Force Base here. We have Fort Polk in Leesville. We have a huge reserve unit, as I said, and a National Guard unit here. We have been a military-friendly school, voted a military-friendly school for 6 consecutive years now. We are a top school in military transition and education. Our testing center was just voted in the top 25% of the military testing centers because we have one on Barksdale as well as here on the campus. So we push, you know, we want them to know that this is a great place to be, that we're going to walk them through their programs and they're going to do well here. We have service members here with service dogs that walk the campus.
I've seen them. Yes.
And you know, and it's good for the dependents as well. The military dependents using their parents' education benefits, because the post 9/11 is transferable under certain criteria, so that a lot of the dependent children come here using their parents' benefits as well. So we want them to come and build that foundation of the community college to move on to the universities, especially with the uncertainties of TOPS right now and the state cuts. We want them to know that they have a home here. They can come here and set that foundation and take advantage of the MOUs we have signed with the universities, so they can do their first 2 years here and then transfer to the 4-year colleges. It's important to know, even for our military members, that when they come here and take that coursework, since their benefit is limited, they want to know that those classes will transfer to the 4-year, so they get the full capacity of their benefits to take them through the 4-year degree.
Absolutely. Well, Ms. States, it's wonderful to have you with us and sharing this. We owe a lot of gratitude to our veterans who work so hard to keep U.S. safe. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
But don't go away. When we return, we will meet a military spouse who is facing her fears and preparing herself for the job market. We'll be right back after this break.
Awesome.
For coming.
My relationship with music started when I was about 6 years old.
What happened was I just went to the piano and I started playing For Elise by memory.
They had a career day and a musician came to the class and he did a little demonstration, played saxophone, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's what I want to do the rest of my life.
Wound up being a music educator, and it's been my life for the past, I can't even count how many years. In high school, I wanted to be a professional trumpet player, and it turned out music education was really where I needed to be. And for all these years, that's where all the time and the effort has taken place.
What I get out of music, it's like an expression of the soul, and I hate to sound sappy, but it is. It's like anything that you feel, you can convey it without words.
It takes me to a place where my words don't know how to get me, if that makes any sense. When I don't know how to put my emotions into words, there's almost always a song out there that can do it for me.
Some of the things I get out of teaching personally is actually seeing students get it. One of the subjects that I really love to teach is music theory. And many of our students come to us with a love of music and the hope of studying music and either performing professionally or being music educators. To get to that end, they need to study the music theory aspect of it. What do the notes mean? What's on the page?
Being a community college, people look down on the college because of that, and I think they're wrong. So the quality doesn't suffer at all. I mean, it's unreal. They expect the same thing out of you at a community college as they do at a four-year institution.
And the concepts that you learn and, techniques, and you can't find it at every school.
One of the main things that we try and do here at Bossier Parish Community College with our music students is to instill a good work ethic.
One of the scariest things that I've ever had to do was get up on the stage to do my student recitals like everybody else is required to do as a major, but the instructors help you through it. I mean, they're great. You couldn't ask for a better program here.
When I leave Bossier Parish Community College, I'm gonna go get my bachelor's, and then I'm gonna go get my doctorate and hopefully teach at a college.
One of the aspects of our music program that we're always working on is recruiting quality and talented students.
This is BIPC, brought to you by the Division of Communication and Performing Arts.
Welcome back. My name is Winona Tomley, and on this episode of This is BIPC, we are discussing the topic of veterans and military spouses. We just met with Susan Stakes, who enlightened us on the benefits and the scholarships that are offered here at BIPC for their military students. I'm excited to introduce my second guest, Nicole Schlimmer.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here with us.
No problem.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a returning college student, actually. I'm a military wife and a mother of two, so jumping right back into school was actually kind of intimidating and scary after all this time, but let me tell you, BIPC has been amazing. It is a very good place to really come back to and get my feet, wet again, so it's been great.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you're a mother of two.
Yes, ma'am.
Ages?
My daughter is 3 and my son is 7.
And you're married to Chris.
Yes.
Now, Chris is active duty military.
Right, active duty Air Force.
Active duty Air Force. And what is his position there?
He is actually a technical sergeant, so he's been in, it will be 12 years this July, so he's been in for a little while. He works on computers, so he does a range of things. He's mostly a comm support, the help desk, working on people's computers, trying to fix their problems, so.
That's a big job.
It is. Underappreciated, too.
Absolutely. So, how long have you been married to Chris?
We have been married 8 years. Yep. And I knew when I married him, I married the military.
You were in for the long haul.
Oh, yes.
And he is too, right?
Absolutely.
He wants career.
He does. He wants to make this a career. He wants to retire out of the military and hopefully, use what he has learned in the military after that.
He is larger than life, isn't he, too?
Oh, he is.
And together you are very active in the community, right? At church, and I know that your house is like the house to be at after school.
Oh, yes, we are. The center where the kids gather. We are both very involved in our church, Hope Community Church of God here in Shreveport, Louisiana. And we work a lot with the children's ministry, teaching, Sunday school and children's church. We try to do a lot of outreach events in the summertime for the children's church. I try to put together events for some of the ladies in our church as well, so we like to be involved in that. Our house really is, where the kids gather. When my son comes home from school, we do homework, and, then it's playtime, so.
I understand. You're a delight. So I understand that. But as if you aren't busy enough.
Oh, no, not at all.
Right. You're also attending BIPSI.
Right.
What is your field of study?
Well, I'm actually utilizing one of the transfer programs that BIPSI offers. I am doing an Associate of Arts for a Louisiana transfer in business. So here at BIPSI, I'm studying, accounting and some of the business classes, getting me ready to move on to LSUS. So there I'd like to do more of the financial services, not just stick with accounting and that kind of thing, but go into more of the financial services.
And what made you choose that?
Well, when I first got out of high school, my first real job, other than retail, was working at a financial planning company. And so I got to get my feet wet, there, and I absolutely loved it. Then I got married, and the family happened, so I had to put that on hold. But it was something that I was really glad I got to come back to, and BIPSI is definitely helping, getting me some of these initial business courses that I can take here, and then move straight on to LSUS. It's going to be hopefully a smooth transition.
Well, Miss Susan, she was telling us about the benefits and all the things that BIPSI offers. You are able to take advantage of some of that. You said something about the GI Bill?
Absolutely, yes. I have worked a lot with Miss Stakes. She's wonderful, and she really does lay it all out. She let me know exactly what I needed to do to get everything started initially, and I was able to use Chris, my husband, his GI Bill actually. He switched over to the post 9/11 GI Bill, and that transferred to me. So I was able to use that to help pay for my school here.
That's wonderful.
It's great.
That's wonderful. And it's wonderful that you're able to do this, coming back. So take us through a typical school day. Okay. Tell me about Nicole's life.
Okay, well, another great thing about BIPSI is that the schedules here are so flexible. I am a stay-at-home mom because I do have a 3-year-old, so I stay home with her. I come to BIPSI 2 days out of the week. My classes are Tuesdays and Thursdays. So on those typical school days, you can imagine the morning's crazy. I'm playing mom in the morning, packing lunches, getting everyone ready to get out the door. We do school drop-off, daycare drop-off, and then, I got to put on the, okay, calm down student mode and get focused on my classes. And I come in and attend my classes, and luckily I'm able to leave my daughter at daycare, through the end of the day, and that's the time I really use to get my coursework done. I try to get as much homework done as I can, so, on the days that I stay home with her, I don't have to, sit in front of the TV, I need to do my homework.
Yes.
We can continue with our routine and go on our play dates and our library dates, and we get to still have fun.
Still allows you to be active in the community and active in your church.
Absolutely.
So that's a really good, and you're so supportive of Chris and everything. So yeah. Now, what happens when everything goes crazy? Kids are sick and everybody's hungry, and
you hit the nail on the head. That's this week. We that flu bug that has been hitting everyone, it seems like, has finally hit our house. So my son was actually sick at the beginning of the week. Another great thing about being at BIPSI is the relationship I can have with my teachers. So I was able to just let them know, hey, I'm home with a sick kid. My husband was actually dealing with some deployment training at the beginning of the week, so there was no way he was going to be able to stay home and let me come to class.
Right.
So, I pulled mom duty and just let my teachers know, hey, I'm pretty much caught up on my coursework. I'll look over the notes and I'll catch up on Thursday.
Yes.
And they were all, very supportive, hoping, that he got better. He did get better. He went back to school yesterday, and now my daughter's sick. So, so it just jumps from one to the next. My husband was able to pull dad duty today, so I was able to be here with you. But you just do what you got to do. I'm able to still get my coursework done. Like I said, that relationship with my teachers allows for a little bit of flexibility when I need to step off and take on the mom role. So it's been great.
The mom role.
Yeah.
It's a big role.
It is.
It really is. Well, you talked about deployment training, so I know that's something that's always looming.
Right.
Is this whole thing about deployment. So how much notice do you typically get before he is deployed?
Let's see. Usually anywhere from 4 to 6 months. We have been lucky because let me tell you, there are times in other families that we have known that it's been a month, a matter of weeks even. So we have been lucky. We get time to prepare, and that's always good, especially with kids. We get time to prepare them.
Right.
But we do have a deployment looming in the midst. We have only a few weeks until Chris leaves, so we're really in the get everything packed and, you know, squared away mode right now.
So he is set to be deployed?
He is. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. So, so how long does the deployment generally last? I mean, typically?
Chris is usually gone for 6 months. Now, obviously, with the military, there are different career fields, different types of deployments. For his career field and the ones he's previously been on, it's been 6 months.
6 months. 6 months without him right there helping. So, yes, how many deployments have you gone through?
This will be our fourth. Our fourth one. Yep.
So you're a pro at it by this time.
I would like to think so.
So how do you handle things when he is gone? Do you have a supportive system, family members? What happens?
We do have a really good support system. Our church is actually a huge support system. Anyone will be there to help, you know, and it's great. We live in a wonderful neighborhood. We have a lot of friends, so they're able to help, you know, with kids. Chris's family does live here. They're a couple hours away, but I know if I need anything, I can call on them as well. So it's great to be here.
That's great. That emergency
yes.
backup. Yes. So let's think about this. The strategy. I mean, the unique challenges. I mean, you got to have all of your ducks in a row and it planned out before he leaves.
Right.
I mean, and you're in that segment right now.
Right.
That's. So, how are you handling that?
You know, not too bad. Because we have been through this so many times, it makes it easier. Every time it gets easier. And I know some military wives may not think that way, but I really do. I like to be organized. Chris likes to be organized. We like to be prepared, and we did have time to prepare for this deployment, so it has been easy. BIPSI also actually helps. Coming to class here, it's my break away from that, you know, that mom and wife mode. I get to come and focus on my classes. It also gives me something to do when I need to eat a break in the evening. Instead of sitting and, you know, watching TV after the kids go to bed, I can go and do some homework and get my brain moving a little bit since I've been out of it for so long. So it's really nice.
That is wonderful, and I'm glad that BIPSI is able to be here for you and help you with that. Well, we discussed the bad elements of deployment. I want to discuss the good elements.
Oh, there are good ones.
Can you give us just a couple of them?
Absolutely. One great thing about deployments is, of course, the hardship, but you do get a little bit of extra money from the military. So that's always something to look forward to. Most deployments, upon his return home, we try to do something fun as a family.
Yes.
We'll go on a vacation. We'll try to plan the vacation while he's gone, and that gives us something to communicate together about and look forward to. So we always try to do that. The kids and I get to have a special time while he's gone too. You know, it's nice when mom can kind of break the rules and have ice cream for dinner and dance parties before bed. You know, it kind of mellows everything out, and you know, dad's gone, so the kids will play.
Well, if there's anything that you would want to say to that person who is out there who is thinking about, you know, coming back to school, but they're just on that fence, what would you say to them? That military spouse out there.
I would say jump in and do it. I know at first I was hesitant, but I am so glad that I did. And I actually had to work very quickly before, you know, the semester started, trying to get everything done. But we have a lot of great resources here at BIPSI that will help you get back in, and I think you should take the chance and do it. That's what I would tell them.
Go for it. Okay. I want to say thank you to all our active duty military and veterans for your service to your country. And thank you, Nicole, and all the military spouses out there for being so supportive of your husbands or your spouse, and for sharing your story. Thank you so much for coming and doing that. All right, well, we appreciate you, and we thank you for tuning in today. And until next time, keep shining. Thank you so much.